Have you ever wanted to do the right thing, but no matter what you did, someone still made you feel like the villain? This story begins with love, distance, and newborn twins, and slowly turns into a storm of expectations, guilt, and quiet resentment. Before we dive in, if you enjoy deep family stories with emotion and unexpected twists, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Your support truly helps us keep sharing stories like this. Let me introduce you to this story. My name in this story is Laura. I'm 41 years old, married, and a mother of 2 energetic kids, a 6-year-old boy and a 9-year-old girl. About 3 years ago, my husband and I made one of the biggest decisions of our lives. We packed up everything we knew and moved more than 1,000 miles away from our hometown. It wasn't an easy choice. We didn't move for fun or adventure. We moved for work stability, better schools, and honestly, our mental health. Life back home had become heavy, crowded with expectations, family pressure, and constant stress. The move gave us space to breathe, but distance always comes with a price. Back home, I left behind my parents, my 2 brothers, and most of my extended family. I still called, still checked in, still cared, but life became busier, time zones changed, schedules didn't align, calls became shorter, texts replaced long conversations. My older brother, Daniel, was always the quiet one. We were close growing up, but adulthood pulled us in different directions. He stayed in our home state, and I left. Over time, his long-term girlfriend, Megan, became more present in his life. And that's where things slowly began to feel uncomfortable. Megan and I were never openly hostile. On the surface, we smiled, hugged, exchanged polite words at family gatherings. But there was always a tension underneath, like a string pulled too tight. About 2 years ago, during one of the most overwhelming periods of my life, that tension finally snapped. At the time, I was dealing with postpartum depression after my youngest child was born. I barely slept. My anxiety was through the roof. On top of that, we were preparing for our out-of-state move, selling our house, arranging schools, and saying goodbye to everything familiar. One night, out of nowhere, I received a long message from Megan. The message wasn't kind. It wasn't gentle. It was sharp, accusatory, and painfully personal. She told me I was a terrible daughter for not calling my parents enough. She said I was a selfish sister for not checking on my brothers more often. She accused me of abandoning my family emotionally before physically leaving the state. I stared at my phone, shaking. She didn't ask how I was doing. She didn't ask if I was okay. She didn't know that some days I struggled just to get out of bed. She didn't know I cried in the shower so my kids wouldn't see. And yet, she judged me. I could have defended myself. I could have explained everything. But I didn't have the strength for a fight, so I apologized. I told her I never meant to hurt anyone. I said I was overwhelmed and trying my best. I swallowed my pride because I didn't want to create a permanent crack in the family. We never really talked about it again, but something shifted inside me that day. A quiet wall went up. Fast forward to last year. After years of fertility struggles, doctor visits, and heartbreaks I only knew about from a distance, Daniel and Megan finally had good news. They were expecting twins. Everyone was over the moon. My parents cried when they heard. My family group chat exploded with messages, heart emojis, and excitement. Despite everything, I felt genuinely happy for them. I knew how long they had waited for this moment. I wanted to be supportive. That summer, Megan's family organized a baby shower. Even though traveling was expensive and complicated with 2 kids, I made it work. Flights, hotel, rental car, gifts. By the time everything was booked, the trip cost us well over $1,000. Still, I went. I smiled. I hugged. I celebrated. I played the role of the excited aunt. I pushed aside my discomfort and focused on the joy of new life entering our family. When I returned home, I felt emotionally drained, but proud of myself for showing up. A few months later, the twins were born. 2 healthy baby boys. Photos flooded my phone. Tiny fingers, matching blankets, exhausted but smiling parents. I sent messages of congratulations and love. I meant every word. Not long after, the question came, "When are you coming to see them?" At first, I answered honestly, "I'll try to visit before the end of the year." That was it. No promises, no dates, just intention. Behind the scenes, I started planning. I opened spreadsheets. I checked flight prices. I counted vacation days. I rearranged bills. Traveling with 2 kids across the country during the holidays is not simple or cheap. When I finally added everything up, the cost hit me hard, around $1,500. That money didn't magically appear. It meant cutting back, no extras, no emergencies. But I wanted to make it happen. I created a small travel fund, slowly adding to it. In the meantime, Daniel would ask again. "So maybe December?" I'd respond carefully. "Possibly early December. I'm still figuring things out." A week later, another message. "What about mid-December?" "I'm not sure yet. I'll let you know." I thought I was being clear, but apparently that wasn't how it was being received. One afternoon, my mum called me. Her voice sounded tired. "Megan is upset," she said. I felt my stomach tighten. "She feels like you keep changing the date and not making them a priority." I was stunned. Changing the date? I had never given a date. I explained this to my mum, trying to stay calm. "I haven't booked anything. I never confirmed a visit. I only said maybe." My mum sighed. "I know, but they really want you to come before the babies get bigger." Something about that sentence rubbed me the wrong way. That night, I couldn't sleep. My mind replayed everything: the money, the logistics, the guilt creeping in, the pressure. And then a memory surfaced that made my chest ache. When my youngest child was born, Daniel and Megan lived less than 2 hours away from us. They didn't visit, not once. They met my baby for the first time at a family holiday when she was already 3 months old. No rush, no pressure, no guilt trips. So why was I now being made to feel like a failure for not immediately flying across the country? The more I thought about it, the angrier I became. Did they understand what this trip required from me? The planning, the expense, the stress of traveling with kids? Or were they only thinking about what they wanted? I started to feel like my effort was invisible. I had already shown up for the baby shower. I had already spent thousands. I had already made space in my life for them. Yet somehow, it still wasn't enough. And once again, Megan's expectations hovered over everything. I drafted messages in my phone, but deleted them all. I didn't want another conflict. I didn't want to be accused of being uncaring or selfish again. But deep down, a question kept echoing in my mind. Was I really doing something wrong? Or was I being asked to carry a weight that wasn't fair? That question sat with me, heavy and unresolved, as the year quietly moved toward winter. And that's where we'll pause for now. Sometimes, love isn't about how far you travel or how much money you spend. It's about understanding each other's limits and respecting them. The days after that phone call felt heavier than they should have. I went back to my normal routine, packing lunches, helping with homework, answering work emails, but my mind kept drifting back to the same thought. No matter how much I did, it felt like the finish line kept moving. Every time my phone buzzed, my heart jumped a little. A few days later, Daniel texted me directly. "Hey, Megan's been asking, are you coming in early December or not?" The wording felt different this time, less curious, more demanding. I stared at the screen for a long moment before replying. "I'm still working on logistics. Flights are expensive and I need to coordinate time off. I'll let you know as soon as I can." He responded with a single word. "Okay." That one word somehow said everything and nothing at the same time. From that point on, the energy shifted. The family group chat slowed down. Messages that used to include jokes or casual updates now felt stiff. Photos of the twins still came through, but without warmth. No "wish you were here" or "hope you can meet them soon." Just images, silent and loaded. Then my mum called again. This time she didn't ease into it. "Megan thinks you're avoiding them," she said quietly. I felt something inside me snap. "Avoiding them," I repeated. "I spent over $1,000 to attend her baby shower. I've been saving for this trip for months." "I know, honey," my mum said gently. "But she's emotional. The babies are her whole world right now." I bit my tongue, but only barely. "They're not my whole world," I said. "That doesn't mean I don't care." There was a long silence on the line. That night I finally said the words out loud to my husband. "I feel like nothing I do is enough for them." He looked up from the couch, his expression serious. "You're allowed to have boundaries," he said. "Being family doesn't mean being unlimited." I nodded, but it didn't fully settle the storm in my chest. As December approached, travel prices climbed even higher. Flights that were barely manageable before now felt impossible. Every time I refreshed the booking page, the total jumped another $100. I started questioning myself. Was I being stubborn? Should I just put it on a credit card and deal with the consequences later? But then I'd look at my kids, asleep in their beds, and remember that every dollar mattered. Every decision affected more than just me. One afternoon, Megan sent me a message directly. I hadn't heard from her personally in months. "Hey Laura, I'm honestly hurt. You keep saying maybe, and it feels like you don't really want to meet the boys." My hands trembled as I read it. I took a deep breath before replying, "That's not true. I care deeply. I just can't commit to a date until I know we can afford it and make it work." Her response came quickly. "Everyone makes sacrifices for family." That sentence stayed with me. Everyone makes sacrifices. I replayed it over and over. Hadn't I already sacrificed? My time, my money, my emotional energy, my peace? Or did sacrifices only count when they were visible to her? I didn't respond right away. Instead, I went for a walk. Cold air filled my lungs as I tried to clear my head. With every step, old memories resurfaced. Moments where I had been expected to give more, bend more, apologize more, always quietly. Later that evening, I finally typed a response. "I understand this is an emotional time for you, but please understand that I'm doing the best I can with my situation." There was no reply. Not that night, not the next day. A week passed, then another. December arrived. I still hadn't booked the trip, and now the guilt had evolved into something else: resentment. One weekend, my parents visited Daniel and Megan. When my mum called afterward, her tone was cautious. "They asked if you're still coming at all," she said. I laughed softly, but there was no humor in it. "So now it's all or nothing." "They just don't understand why it's so hard," my mum replied. That was the moment I realized something important. They didn't want to understand. Understanding would require empathy. It would require seeing my life as equal in weight to theirs. And that was never part of the equation. I sat down with my husband again that night. "I feel like I'm being punished for not rearranging my entire life," I told him. "You're not responsible for managing their emotions," he said firmly. "If you go, it should be because you want to, not because you're pressured." His words settled deep inside me. The next morning, I sent a message to Daniel. "I haven't confirmed a trip yet because the cost and timing are still uncertain. I don't want to promise something I can't guarantee." This time, his response was longer. "Megan feels like you don't care. She's already sensitive, and this just adds to it." I closed my eyes, so now her feelings were my responsibility too. I didn't answer right away. Instead, I remembered something my therapist once told me during my postpartum depression. "You're allowed to disappoint people to protect your mental health." At the time, I hadn't fully believed it. Now, I was starting to. A few days later, Megan posted a long message on social media about who really shows up for you when it matters. It wasn't addressed to anyone directly, but I knew. Family members commented with heart emojis and supportive words. I stayed silent. Inside, though, something hardened. I realized that no visit would ever be enough to erase the story she had already written about me in her mind. And chasing her approval would only drain me further. But as December continued, the twins grew, their faces changed, their eyes opened wider in photos. And with every update, I felt a mix of joy and distance. But for the first time, I also felt clarity. Sometimes being a good sister doesn't mean sacrificing everything. Sometimes it means standing still and refusing to be pulled apart. And deep down, I knew a decision was coming, one that would change how this family dynamic worked forever. But that decision came with consequences, and those consequences would soon make themselves known. The tension didn't explode all at once. It leaked into everything. Quietly, slowly, like water seeping through cracks in a wall. By mid-December, I still hadn't booked the trip. Not because I didn't want to see the twins, but because every time I got close to clicking confirm, my chest tightened. The joy I imagined feeling on that visit was completely overshadowed by pressure and resentment. That's when I realized something painful. If I went now, it wouldn't be out of love. It would be out of fear. One evening, after putting my kids to bed, I sat alone at the kitchen table, staring at my phone. A new message from Daniel sat unread. I already knew what it would say. I opened it anyway. "Megan's parents are coming again next week. She's really hurt that you haven't made it yet. She keeps asking what she did wrong." I felt my throat tighten. What she did wrong? For a long moment, I considered apologizing again. It would have been easy, familiar. I had done it before, but then something different happened. Instead of shrinking, I felt calm. I typed slowly, choosing each word carefully. "I care about you and the boys, but I won't be pressured into a trip I can't responsibly commit to. This distance doesn't mean I love you less." I hesitated before sending it. Then I pressed send. The reply didn't come right away. Hours passed. Then the next morning, nothing. And strangely, I felt lighter. Christmas came and went without drama on the surface. We exchanged polite messages. I sent gifts for the twins, soft blankets, books with handwritten notes inside. I made sure they arrived on time. There were thank you texts, short ones, but no accusations, no guilt, no demands. In January, travel prices finally dropped. Life slowed down. The pressure eased. That's when I booked the trip. Not because I was forced, but because I wanted to. When I finally arrived, the moment was quiet. The twins were bigger, yes. Their faces fuller, their eyes curious. Megan looked tired, softer, less guarded. The visit wasn't perfect. There were awkward silences, careful conversations, unspoken things hanging in the air. But there was also laughter and something unexpected, respect. At one point, while I held one of the boys, Megan sat beside me. "I didn't realize how expensive it was for you," she said quietly. I looked at her, surprised. "It's not just the money," I replied gently. "It's everything that comes with it." She nodded. It wasn't an apology, but it was a crack in the wall. When I flew home, I felt different. Not relieved, not triumphant, just grounded. I had finally shown up on my own terms. Looking back, I realized this wasn't really about a visit. It was about expectations, about how easily people forget that love doesn't look the same in every life, in every household, in every season. Family bonds aren't measured by miles traveled or money spent. They're measured by understanding and grace. And sometimes, the bravest thing you can do is stop explaining yourself and start respecting your own limits. If this story made you think or reminded you of a moment when you had to choose between guilt and peace, don't forget to like the video and support the channel. Your engagement helps these stories reach the people who need them most. Thank you for listening. And remember, you're allowed to protect your peace, even when love is involved.